Halloween Part 2 in Pokemon GO is bringing out some brand new Shadow Pokemon, which are actually some of the strongest Pokemon in some of their respective categories. So these Shadow Pokemon are going to take over some of the top spots in Pokemon GO for their categories, and I'm excited to share which those Pokemon are and how good are these Pokemon actually going to be, and what movesets will they need to conquer in Pokemon GO. So welcome to the Trainer Club, here we go! The Team Go Rocket Takeover is at the exact same time as the Halloween Part 2 event, okay? So this event is going to start at midnight on the 26th of October. So as soon as it hits the 26th, we are gonna have these Rocket Pokemon and everything going on in Pokemon GO. So number one, we have Giovanni making its way back into Pokemon GO, and it's going to have Shadow Regigigas, which is awesome. And then in the raids that weekend, which will be on the 28th and the 29th, we are gonna have Lugia making its way into raids with the Shadow Shiny form. Wow, okay. Not only that, we have some brand new Grunts that are going to be having some Pokemon that are extremely powerful as meta attackers. So we have multiple things going on here, so let's start off with the legendaries and then we'll go down on the list here right now. So Shadow Regigigas is number one, and we're going to check out where is this Pokemon strongest in the game. The most powerful moveset combination on Shadow Regigigas is going to be Zen Headbutt and Giga Impact, along with all of the hidden powers, multiple different typings combined with the Giga Impact at 50.49, but the Zen Headbutt makes it at 51.05. So Giga Impact is an extremely powerful move, and it's on this Regigigas in the Shadow form, but does that make it the strongest normal type attacker in the charge move category in the game? Let's find out. With that said, we are going to have to check out all normal type attacking moves, which is going to be at the top, has not been out yet, it could get nerfed, Eterna Max Eternatus at 53.45, followed by Mega Mewtwo Y with the Hyper Beam at 52.09, and then we have the Regigigas in the Shadow form sandwiched in between the Mega Mewtwo X and the Y at 51.05. So although the Shadow Mewtwo Y is going to be stronger than this Pokemon, guys, we are looking at extremely powerful Regigigas in the Shadow form with Giga Impact, which is quite an impressive feat. This is extremely cool, extremely strong, except the only thing is, guys, normal moves aren't going to be strong against anything. The only thing that's going to resist normal moves is the Ghost in the 2x resistance, but besides that, everything else is neutral to it, and it is going to be weak to fighting as Regigigas. So this Pokemon, extremely strong, extremely impressive. I'm really excited to see what some of the other Pokemons do make up. So would I catch the Shadow Regigigas in Pokemon GO? Yes, I would definitely catch one of those. Probably not multiple, but one is definitely worth it. Which then leads us into the Shadow Lugia. The strongest moveset combination on Shadow Lugia is actually going to be the Aeroblast Plus or the regular Lugia with the Aeroblast Plus Plus at 46.99 or 44.35, and then the regular Shadow Lugia, which is going to be what we can catch from the raids at 43.94 with the Aeroblast regular. So unfortunately, the strongest version of Lugia is going to be the Apex Lugia, followed by the Purified Apex. That's going to be the second strongest, and the third strongest is going to be the regular Lugia with regular Aeroblast, but Aeroblast is not a TMable move, it is actually an elite TMable move, so you are going to have to consider that when going after it, but still, it's extremely strong. It's going to be a difficult Pokemon to take down for sure. So now let's check out how strong is this Pokemon in the flying category. Overall, Mega Rayquaza, number one, blows everything out of the water at 73. Regular Rayquaza at 53. We have the Shadow Moltres with the Sky Attack at 47, followed by the Shadow Lugia with the Aeroblast Plus at 46.99. Then we have the regular Lugia all the way down there at 44.35. And then the Shadow Dragonite at 43.79. And then the Shadow Lugia in the regular form at the 11th spot overall with Aeroblast. And then obviously it does get extra sensory and other movesets, but that is going up against Psychic Pokemon, and Mewtwo absolutely dominates that category. So yes, it is strong. Is the Aeroblast Plus and Plus Plus stronger than it? Yes. Will it be in the top 10? No, it will not, but this Pokemon is tanky, and the auto-populators are going to absolutely love this. But I love the shiny form in the Shadow form combination. It looks absolutely fantastic. Do I still suggest you guys raid for this Pokemon and try to get a Shadow form? I do suggest, because this Pokemon with the shiny Shadow looks fantastic. It's going to be bulky, and it will sit in there and take some attacks, and it's going to make it a little bit stronger in the Shadow form, which is always going to be a benefit for us. Do I think you need to go gung-ho and try to get the Hundo? I do not. There are better Shadow Pokemon out there that I would prefer you guys save some of your resources to. So those are going to be the legendaries that we're taking out of the way. But the most game-changing Pokemon that are going to be in the Shadow Team Go Rocket Takeover is going to be in the non-legendary form here. We have brand new Grunts coming in with Pokemon that are extremely strong. These Pokemon are going to include Ghastly Rhyhorn. We are going to have Barboach, Cranidos, Shieldon. We are also going to be getting Drillbur as well as Litwick, okay? So there's two Pokemon in here that are going to be PvP heavily focused specific, and that's going to be Barboach and Shieldon. We are not going to cover that in this video because unfortunately, PvPoke has not ranked them yet, and I am not an expert ranker for PvP Pokemon. But some of these other Pokemon like Shadow Gengar, Shadow Rhyperior, Shadow Rampardos, Shadow Excadrill, and Shadow Chandelure are some of the strongest Pokemon in their respective categories when they are in the Shadow forms. Holy smokes, guys. We're about to see some massive changes, and we're going to start off with the Shadow Rhyhorn going all the way into Rhyperior. But just as a reminder, in order for it to be this strong, it needs Rock Wrecker, which is a Calm Day move, so it will require an Elite TM or some patience for whenever the future does bring this Pokemon to be able to be evolved. Let's jump in. Shadow Rhyperior, Mud Slap Rock Wrecker 46.9, but Smackdown and Rock Wrecker at 45.88, and all ground Mud Slap and Earthquake at 42.5. Holy smokes, guys. Okay, so remember, if it's above 40, we are looking at potentially some of the top Pokemon in the respective category. This is at 45. Wow, I can't wait to see how good it does in the rock category. At the top, we have Mega Diancie, 46.27, but in the second spot overall, we have the Rhyperior with the Smackdown and the Rock Wrecker at 45.88, above actually the Mega Tyranitar with Smackdown and Stone Edge at 45.73, and then we are all going to have the Shadow Rampardos, which we will check out here in a second. The Rampardos' strongest moveset is going to be Smackdown and Rock Slide at 45.49. We also have Outrage in there, which is not going to be super effective, but we also have Flamethrower in there as well at 40.91, which is actually pretty powerful. But back to the all rock types, we do have it sitting in at 45.49, right below the Mega Tyranitar, right above a couple points, the Mega Aerodactyl at Rock Throw and Rock Slide at 42.49. And we have Shadow Gigalith, Shadow Tyranitar, regular Rhyperior, Rampardos, and Tyrantrum. Wow, this Shadow Rhyperior is insanely strong, so I highly suggest you guys heavily focus your time and energy of this event, not only getting some shinies and getting some XL candy and the like, but focusing on these rocket grunts. Man, they are extremely strong. I don't really even know what the leaders are going to be. Obviously, there's probably going to be one or two that we might want the shiny of, that we might want maybe even to get as a meta attacker, but goodness gracious, this Rhyperior is strong, dude. It is stronger than Tyranitar. Obviously, Tyranitar got Brutal Swing, which bumped it up as a dark type attacker, which it does deserve, but it also does deserve, in my opinion, a better rock type move because it doesn't deserve to be beat out by a Shadow Rhyperior, in my opinion. So at some point, maybe it'll get Rock Slide or something like that, and it will get bumped up and be at the spot where it deserves. But until then, Rhyperior in the Shadow form, and Rock Wrecker and Smackdown is beating it out. Holy smokes. Which then is going to transition us into that Excadrill in the Shadow form. Now, we do have the Shadow Garchomp out right now that does have Earth Power, which is extremely strong. But now let's see, how does Excadrill compare? The strongest moveset combination overall is the Metal Claw and Scorching Sands at 44.25. But very, very close. We have Mud Slap and Scorching Sands at 44.16. Holy smokes on the Shadow Excadrill. And then we have Mud Shot and Scorching Sands at 42.75. And down on the list all the way into the all steel type with the Metal Claw and Iron Head at 40.15. So now let's check it out against the top ground types in the game, which is going to be Primal Groudon at Mudshot and Precipice Blades at 58.15, which is a beast, followed by Mega Garchomp, also a beast at 50.59. Respective categories earned. At the third spot, we have the Shadow Garchomp at 44.91, followed very closely by the Excadrill at 44.16, which are both above the regular Groudon. Wow, that Pokemon makes extreme ways into the ground category. How about in the steel category? Mega Metagross at the top at 51.69. Then we are going to go down the list to Shadow Metagross at 49, extremely strong. Regular Metagross at 42. Zacian Crown Sword, not out yet. And then we have the Shadow Excadrill above Dialga, Mega Aggron, Mega Scizor, Mega Lucario, and Genesect. Wow, at 38.8. Another Pokemon that's making some massive headways in Pokemon GO, but just a reminder, guys, Shadow Groudon is not out yet, and it can come out at some point, and then it's going to be very, very strong in the game. So let's continue here. Onto the Chandelure, which has Ghost types and Fire types. The strongest Chandelure moveset is going to be Fire Spin and Shadow Ball at 46.65, but the strongest all Fire type at Fire Spin and Overheat at 42.98. So if we do look at this Pokemon, it is going to be Mega Charizard Y at the top at 51. Then we have Mega Blaziken, Reshiram, which is very, very strong at 46.8 with that Fusion Flare, Mega Charizard X, Shadow Entei, Shadow Ho-Oh, Shadow Moltres, Shadow Blaziken. In the 9th spot overall, we have the Shadow Chandelure at 42.98. So while there are a lot of really strong Pokemon above this, most of those strongest Pokemon are either legendary Pokemon or Shadow legendary Pokemon. And in the 9th spot overall, not too much further behind, is very impressive and still a Pokemon that I do consider worth going after. And then as far as the Shadow Chandelure, Mega Gengar is at the top at 50.71, the Mega Bayonet at 44.16, and the Shadow Chandelure Chandelure at 43.56, which does mean we also have to include that Mega Gengar. Shadow Gengar at the top at 43.93, which is impressive in comparison to the Mega Gengar. Not crazy good, but it's still up there. And seeing those ranked is also very impressive in Pokemon Go. But you do have to consider that Mega Mewtwo is in there, even though it's not a all Ghost type and it doesn't get dual Ghost type moves. It does have Shadow Ball, and it is the top Ghost type attacker in the game. So wow, we have massive Shape-Ups. We have the Rhyperior, which I think is the overall most impactful Pokemon coming out in this set. Definitely something to hunt after those rock type Pokemon. Very, very powerful. We have the Shadow Gengar, which is very powerful, but very glassy, as well as the Rampardos, also very glassy. I like the Rhyperior because it's a little bit bulky, and the Shadow Excadrill is an absolute boss, and it's competing with Garchomp and Mega Pokemon, which is very impressive. So we have some awesome Shadow type Pokemon coming out during this event, so make sure not to overlook this part of the event. TM away frustration and enjoy yourself. I appreciate you guys being here as always. Good luck out there. Share this video for anybody that is in curiosity of what these new Shadow Pokemon and how powerful they are. Appreciate you guys. Likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody check your support, subscription, participation, to excellent. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and rating all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.